Hey guys, how you doing? This is an unranked game we played yesterday on Lorraine, and this is probably one of the very rare unranked games you'll ever see me posting. And the reason I'm posting is because I played it with my friend. And I mean, in my a friend of mine in real life called Yolomum1998. I mean, that's obviously not his real life name, but I'm not going to be doxing him here. And he only recently started playing Company of Heroes, and this is actually his very first game against actual players, not against AI. So this is essentially his Company of Heroes equivalent of losing his virginity. So I thought it would be like cool to post that and maybe analyze it a bit to help him improve in the future. And we're playing on Lorraine as the US, and on the other side we have KM as Wehrmacht and ROnin81 as Panzer Elite. Obviously, because of the orientation of the map, I will mostly be playing against Panzer Elite. And YM1998 will mostly be playing against Wehrmacht. Lorraine is my favorite 2v2 map. I know a lot of people prefer Declare. A lot of people prefer plenty of other maps, to be honest. Mostly maps with bridges. Those are usually preferred by Wehrmacht players because they can bridge abuse, and I hate those same maps for that very same reason. But Lorraine is my favorite map. I don't even know why. I think that when I was just starting out in this game, at some point I had. I'm just gonna quiet this down a bit. At some point I had a few good games in a row on this map. And I just, kind of stuck with it. Also, today is March 8th, 2026, so happy International Women's Day to all the women watching this, which are probably zero because I don't really think women often play RTS games. I know that there are definitely a few ladies out there doing it, but this is a very guy-coded genre of video games. So whoever's watching, remember to tell your mom and your sisters and your girlfriends and your grandmas, happy March 8th. Um, this guy kind needs to go to hell. But anyway, we have a building versus building machine gun engagement. And I think there were some kind of like unofficial studies done. I still have to turn this down because I kind of feel like it's too loud. Don't quote me on that though. It might not be actually, but I feel like it is because I have headphones on, right? And a lot of people say that in this kind of engagement, when it's two machine guns in two buildings right next to one another, that the Americans will always win, and that seems to be the case right now. I don't know why, or why is the American machine gun so much more powerful in a building in comparison to a Wehrmacht machine gun. Oh look, it's not. It's actually going. Ah, no, it's because of the sniper. The sniper came in clutch. So yeah, in this kind of situation, like this is just bad micro. Because when you take that first sniper shot, you know that doom is coming, and you have like 2 seconds to get your last machine gunner out of there and retreat back to base. So this was just bad micro from Yolomum, but it's to be expected at such a level, and also these engineers have no business doing anything here because they're just going to die. But that sniper did come in clutch because this machine gun, I believe, would have been dead if it weren't for that sniper. There's no way it would have survived. We also have a worker battle going here. Um, in an open worker battle, a German engineer is always going to. The German pioneers are usually going to die because they only have 2 men, so their health bar is a bit lower. But since American engineers spent time capping, their fighting efficiency wasn't top. So yeah, I'm mining this sector off because I know that he's gonna. I'm assuming at this point that he's gonna come in with a lot of vehicles, maybe Kettenkrad, or maybe I think he can even cap with an armored car if he's playing his Panzer Elite. So I'm assuming that he's gonna try to cap this or this, and I want to cut him off. So throughout the entire game, you're gonna see me plant a lot of mines in this circle right here. And this is an engagement. I saw him doing this while my riflemen were here. So I just sent them here to kind of box them in because I know that he can't escape, right? He is essentially now completely boxed in with these Panzer Grenadiers, and he can't do anything. He can just, pray to survive. And at this point, I'm focus firing on this squad right here because I want to get that squad wipe, and I do. And Yolomum is doing a bit of recon with a camouflaged sniper. I hope that I assume he did put on a uh, hold fire order. Yeah, he did. Otherwise, he would have opened fire. Because even though this is essentially a trap, because he has a very, very open machine gunner here that's very easy to kill, but he also has a sniper right next to it for the counter snipe. So if he had opened fire, his sniper would have been killed immediately. So that's good. So that's good decision making from Yolomum right there. And the reason you may be wondering why I ran with my rifleman all the way here is because I want to push these guys away into this mine. And it works exactly the way God intended to. And by God, I mean, I'm joking. Exactly the way I intended to. So what he's doing right now, he's decapping this because these two territories, they're all connected to this and this. So if he disconnects this territory or this territory here, I essentially don't get anything from here. So this is a cutoff point, a very good cutoff point, and he used it to his advantage in that occasion. And the sniper is really, really deep into the base. So Yolomum knew what was going on, and he's going for an early motor pool because he can tell that they currently have no counter to that. Oh yeah, by the way, we were playing this at a LAN party. We weren't like doing it online. We were sitting next to each other on a table, at a table, while playing this. So we had a pretty good like stream of communication. I knew everything he knew, and he knew everything I knew. So it makes life much easier. And basically, this spy sniper is gonna. I'm pretty sure he's gonna. I don't recall really, but I think he's gonna spend the majority of his career in that base right here. Ah, but they know he's here. Are they gonna find him? Oh my god, they're gonna find him. Ah, yeah. And this is bad micro. This is bad micro because Yolomum was concerned about what was happening here with this sniper, and he didn't notice that they were looking for him here. They somehow knew. I don't know how. It's possible I missed it. It's possible maybe you guys saw it, and if you did, you can just tell me in the comments. But they somehow realized that they had a sniper spying in their base, and they started looking for him. I don't know how they realized that, honestly. But yeah. Because he didn't drop artillery or anything like that, so that is a that grenade could have been avoided. I don't know why he didn't do it. And that is a poor push from what's his name? ROnin81. It's all in an attempt to take down this victory point, which is a bit silly because the victory point situation isn't even that bad. There's no reason to lose troops in an attempt because you still have this victory point, and it's 467 against 436. This is just kind of noob play, in my opinion. There was absolutely no, because the victory point is like the last thing you take, right? When there's nobody else in the field and you can casually do it, that's when you take a. There's no point in risking your life, your troops' lives for a victory point. You only do that if if the situation is like 467 against 30, then you can lose troops to win a victory point. Other than that, you shouldn't do it. And all it did was he lost a lot of troops, and I gained a lot of veterancy, and I'm about to lose a unit right here. That was my bad. But yeah, he did not see this mine get planted, I believe. Even though it was super close, obviously. Well, he wasn't super close. He was kind of here when I planted it, but he still didn't see it. And I use the pinning, the suppressing fire option, which you have with the BARs, and it costs 40 munitions, but it's well worth it in situations like this because he was pretty much completely stuck. And once again, dealing heavy losses, I now have Vet 2 riflemen here, and this is something I didn't cover earlier. I apologize for that. I put this machine gun here. This is a kind of a key place for me to put a machine gun when I'm playing Lorraine, because it pretty much prevents everything from coming on here or here. So you can still get flanked from this angle, and somebody can still go around here, and they can just use this space to maneuver here. But still, you can't flank with infantry. And in the early to mid game, before there's AT and before there are tanks, that you're pretty much secure. And I only do it if I have a lot of manpower and a lot of what's it called? A lot of gas early on, which I did in this game, which is why I did it. If I had had a more difficult start, I wouldn't be building that. But yeah, and Yolomum is preparing for what I would call an M8 raid. We're gonna see how that's gonna pan out. And once again, he is capping this for no reason, because I only have this 6 rifleman squad, and he has 3 Panzer Grenadier squads. All are upgraded, mind you. And he could easily take out my squad if he just focus fired on me, but instead he's wasting time on the victory point. In the future, you have to kill these guys first, and then you take the victory point, because there's nothing else for me on the field, right? All my men are in base. This supply yard is getting built, and my riflemen are getting reinforced. I also built a triage center. I have no other forces on the field. I have 2 riflemen squads and 2 engineer squads. So if he had just chosen to open fire on my guys here, I would have had to retreat, and then he could easily take the point. This way was way more difficult than it needed to be, but if I recall correctly, I'm still going to retreat because of this sniper. I don't want to die to a sniper, and this is a very valuable squad, because it's a Vet 2 squad, but still. In my opinion, Yolomum should have put down left at least 1 armor car here to take out that machine gun emplacement. But yeah, he's gonna do a little bit of a base inspection to see if it's up to standards. I don't think they saw this coming, honestly. I don't think they saw this coming. I think this was a bit of a surprise to them, to KM, because this is his side of the base. And at the same time, he has an armored car, and he's just gonna get the hell out of there. He actually did really well. One of his armored cars is his M8s is barely damaged, and he did deal plenty of damage to. It's not Volksgrenadiers. It's what kind of unit was it? Oh, it's just regular Grenadiers. So yeah. And he's just going to retreat. He's going to fix, he's going to cap, he's going to establish a perimeter, and he's going to be playing it slowly. In the meantime, I'm trying to bait them into this mine right here, and my Veterans 2 squad, which has obtained a Panzerschreck. I don't know if you saw it, I don't think I showed it on camera, but I killed a Grenadier squad with a Panzerschreck, and I took it for my Vet 2 Rifleman squad. that squad hit this armored car, and I'm very desperate in trying to kill it. And for now I'm desperate in trying to kill this, and he's gonna make it out. And I'm gonna have to retreat because my other Vet 2 squad, this one is without a Panzerschreck, is coming in for the sticky, and he's gonna do it. And at the same time, we have a bit of a losing engagement here, I would say, for Yolomum, because you have 3 Grenadier squads with Panzerschrecks, which are, in my opinion, alone more than enough to take out at least 2 of these M8s out of 4. But they're also supported by a pack. This is definitely losing engagement for Yolomum. The only way he could win this, I believe, and I'm really going to, put my foot in my mouth if he turns out, if it turns out he won this. But I believe if he only had a machine gun somewhere right here to suppress these troops, then they couldn't do shit. He would take them out pretty easily, and his M8s could take out the pack. But this way, I'm pretty sure that he's going to lose. He's going to lose more than he'll gain, I think. There you go. 1. I don't want to be right. I want to be wrong about this, but this is just, in my opinion, this is an engagement I would never. Yeah. He managed to push them back, but still, that could have. I think KM is his name. KM could have done a lot better here. I don't think he should have retreated. I think he should have retreated just that one Grenadier squad, which was down to 1 man. And but I think he just did this and then pressed T on his keyboard, which is the hotkey for retreating. I think he just mass retreated by accident. I think if he had kept those 2 remaining squads, which were healthier, with this pack, he could have destroyed at least 1 more M8, maybe even 2. I think this was actually losing engagement for Yolomum that just luckily turned out to be a winning engagement. One thing that I think should be improved here is that the only infantry on the field, and by the way, Yolomum really likes playing armor. I mean, I play with him all the time, I would know. There's not enough infantry on the field. This needs to be. This has been. This sector here generally has been in his hands for, I want to say, like 5 minutes at this point, and he still hasn't capped this, and he's only now capping this. So these 3 points should have already been capped, and they would have already been capped if the sniper did his job, or if he had any other infantry units. So there's definitely lack of infantry here. You never want to go full armor, like complete armor. But yeah. And these engineers are preparing to... Is this rifleman gonna make it out? Oh yeah, thank God he will. This sniper, by the way, here is really getting on my nerves. He has 13 kills. He's super annoying. These engineers are preparing to build the first artillery gun, the 105mm howitzer. And these assault grenadiers should have retreated 20 seconds ago. Now they're dead. Now it's too late. Way too late. That's a bit of an overkill, killing a human being with a Panzerschreck, but I know. But I guess, do whatever the hell you want. He's going double snipe. Yolomum is going double snipe. I think you know my opinion on double snipers. I despise that strategy from the bottom of my heart. This, however, is not a ranked game, so whatever, but it's forbidden in a lot of tournaments because it's such a game-breaking strategy that, it makes no sense to even try playing against it. But it is a good... I apologize, I have to cough now. I may have inhaled some orange juice. But this is a good response to this blob of Panzerschreck grenadiers right here, because if you think about it, within like 10 seconds, these 2 snipers can take out an entire squad. And that's not even considering the effect by the armored cars. And these snipers can also, in a single strike, take out the pack. However, I think KM is aware of that, which is why he brought his own sniper. He's suspecting that Yolomum might use one, maybe even two snipers, so he's trying to counter it in advance, and he is kind of right. I don't know how this engagement went down. We're gonna see right now, but let me see what other troops are. No, so it's just three M8s, two snipers, and an engineer who is done fixing. This engineer really needs to cap this because then we would have like complete supremacy, and this too. This ammo point, this munitions point also needs to be OP. You definitely have the manpower for it, and given the amount of traffic, the foot traffic here, once you get all of these guys to, to retreat, this should be mined. Like, put a mine here, put another here, 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 here. Like, I would literally put 5 or 6 mines just in this small area here. Because why the hell not? You have M8s which can plant mines, you have engineers which can plant mines. It would be very, very easy to make this a very difficult area to pass through for anything. And you could essentially block it that way. Also, this needs to be decapped. Because as long as he has this forward headquarters here, he can see what's going on. I mean, I don't know how big of a site he has. I'm trying to figure it out, but yeah, I mean, he can basically see everything here, right? Because of this. So if you had decapped this with an engineer or with just a single rifleman unit, he wouldn't know that your M8s are here. That's the reason he can see your M8s. He cannot see your snipers, but he can definitely see your M8s. But anyway, let's see how this engagement goes. So we have, I'm going to start yapping now. We have 3 Panzerschreck Grenadiers, a sniper, and a pack against 3 M8s, an engineer squad, obviously just for fixing, not for combat, and double US snipers. And in the meantime, just before we start, these guys are capping and mining the middle here after losing it for a bit, and the Marder 3 is trying to take out this machine gun because they really, really, really need to find a way to flank me, and the only way to do it is through here, so they need to destroy that machine gun emplacement. And pretty much the worst thing to happen has happened, which is losing one M8 literally 1 second into combat. It's not what you want. But the snipers return fire, and are they gonna get... And they're gonna get counter-sniped, and it turned out pretty much the way you would think it would turn out. The sniper needs to retreat immediately, maybe even a soft retreat. Now it's over. Now he's gonna... Is he gonna die? No, he's gonna survive, actually. That's amazing. I thought he would die. That was a very, very bad engagement from Yolomum, simply because of the lack of micro, first of all. That sniper took a shot as soon as the engagement started. He killed one of the engineers, and as soon as Yolomum, he should have noticed that, and he should have then devoted his focus to taking his snipers and counter sniping the sniper. And secondly, all 3 of his M8s were within 1 foot of each other, which is senseless. It makes them very easy targets, very easy to kill. You don't know if he has artillery. He doesn't, but you don't know that. And they're all within the pack's reach. So one M8 should have gone through here and maybe gone through the back or here. Second M8 could have hidden away from pack fire by putting it here. If you put it behind this building, he can't hit it with a pack from here, but you can hit his troops. So this was just there's a reason that displacing troops and spreading them is very, very important in warfare. All kinds of warfare, from armor to infantry, doesn't matter. And this was a good example of why that is. This martyr was hit by one of my by this squad, the Panzerschreck Vet 2 squad. And martyrs really, and we have the first howitzer. Martyrs really are glass cannons in the sense that they have this incredibly powerful gun that's very useful for destroying like emplacements and armor, but their armor is terrible. Like you can destroy it with vanilla riflemen, with no stickies, with no guns, with no BARs, just with regular gunfire. It's going to take a while, obviously, but you can do it. And I use the howitzer to push the martyr into my own into my way, so I could destroy with a Panzerschreck and a sticky. And that's exactly what's going to happen now. Now it's immobilized, but you're gonna see that it's gonna die any second now. And at the same time, my riflemen are going to cap this. And now I have Vet 3 rifles with the Panzerschreck, which is pretty much one of the worst things you can get. You can fight as Panzer Elite. My guys need to retreat right here. They are retreating. He gets another sniper. Yolomum gets another sniper. Interesting strat that out of all the infantry you can get, you're getting snipers. I mean, he knows that he's gonna get tanks soon because he's doing really, really well on manpower and fuel. You can see it right here, but still. I think a little bit of infantry, physical, I mean, serious infantry troops wouldn't hurt in this situation. This is way too late of a retreat. This is a very late retreat. They were so obviously going to flank here. You definitely saw them coming. He's going to survive this magically. I don't know how he survives this, honestly, but this is... No, and he loses one sniper. If he had just pressed the retreat button 3 seconds earlier, they would have both survived. This was such a late retreat, I'm honestly surprised that even this sniper survived. But anyway... I think if he has now lost 3 snipers, by the way, and that's 1,000 manpower, to put it in context. And you kind of have to ask yourself, if instead of getting those 3 snipers that I lost, if I had got, let's say, I could have got almost 5 infantry units with the same money. I could have got almost 5 MGs that I could have placed in these 2 buildings with the same money. You kind of have to ask yourself, am I doing something wrong? In my opinion, I support the use of snipers if you're going to use them smart, but you should have had at least 2 MGs or at least 2 rifle squads with what I wanted to say was 2 rifle squads with BARs. To suppress all of this infantry, because he's infantry blobbing. At this point, you're kind of starting to realize that your enemy is infantry blobbing with Panzerschrecks against armor, and he has an AT, and these aren't that strong of these units aren't that strong. You could easily, if you just had 1 infantry squad, 1 vanilla rifleman squad, and a sniper, I believe that you could kill these units right here. If you put your sniper here and you push with your infantry squad, it's no biggie. Especially since you're also getting a Sherman. So at this point, my question is like, why the hell aren't you getting infantry? Because armor and light armor can be supported by support weapons alone. I know that they have the word support in there, but you really need to have infantry units to clear out the path of some of these anti-tank infantry, and that's pretty much what it is. And this howitzer is mainly just going to be used as a deterrent for you. I don't know where the hell are these guys aiming, these engineers right here, but look, they killed everything. The howitzer, I'm sorry, I keep inhaling orange juice instead of swallowing it. I have no idea what's wrong with me. My esophagus isn't working properly, apparently. Um, and that's one of the main uses of the howitzers in both real life and in the game. And I'm floating a lot of manpower, I'm aware of that, but the reason I'm floating a lot of manpower is because I have plans. I have big plans for the future, trust me. And Yolomum currently has a Sherman, and I know what he's doing because I know how he plays. He wants to get like 2 or 3 Shermans before he base raids, because that's how he plays. He doesn't do it immediately. These guys have to get the hell out of there. Nope, that's a dead squad. He likes to have, yeah, there we go. He now has 2 Shermans, and he knows, because he probably saw this engagement, he knows that these Grenadier squads with Panzerschrecks aren't here. So he can raid this AT. He's gonna take some hits, but
get an MG on the roof of this tin can. It's time to shred some krauts.
That scared the crap out. It scared the crap out of me during the game, and it scared the crap out of me now. And he likes raiding, and he turns on field repairs, which is a smart choice because he's taking a lot of damage. That's a smart choice to make in that situation. And it may look for a moment like we're on the back foot here, but if you take a look at the map, we have most of it. And also the victory point situation. At this point in real life, I was just telling Yolomum, we just need to cap this here, and they're gonna GG out because we have such a field advantage that it would make no sense for them to insist. And the Panzer Elite is only now getting its first armor out. Anti-infantry armor is the Variable Wind, which was really weird to me because we are now 20 minutes into the game, and this is the first piece of armor from Panzer Elite. It's kind of weird, because Panzer Elite is supposed to be all about armor. And I'm just pushing it away here. I know that I'm not going to hit it. I just want to get it out of the way so I can move forward with my infantry. I got a pair of Rangers because I feel like that was planned. By the way, that was one of the reasons I was keeping so much manpower floating, because I felt if I have one Ranger unit alongside that Vet 2 riflemen with Panzerschrecks, that my guys, they're going to be super, super powerful against armor. They're actually Vet 3 riflemen, are they not? Not these guys, the other guys. These guys, yeah. They're Vet 3 riflemen with a Panzerschreck, so they're super, super useful against armored cars, against the Variable Wind, alongside, Rangers. So that was essentially my plan. And now Yolomum has a third Sherman. These are my guys, by the way, my Rangers building this. He now has a third Sherman. And he's doing exactly what he likes to do, which is amass a huge force, a huge armored force, and attack with it. And this plus 18 is really important, and I think Yolomum should have done this himself earlier. And I dropped artillery on their heads right now. This sniper is so annoying. He's been alive for a very long time. He's no vet 0. Wait, why didn't he get veterancy? He has a Kampkraft Center. Because this sniper has proven his worth, like in this combat area here, so why not just vet him to make him even more effective? And the Sherman gets veterancy pretty much immediately. I know that he has an AT and he has 3 Grenadier squads, but against 3 Shermans, all of which have a gunner, that's still pretty difficult to fight off. And now these guys, these Rangers, have taken out the Wind from a building. For some reason, the regular infantry squad gets the veterancy. I don't think they have the Panzerschreck, because the Panzerschreck is on this squad here. You can quite clearly see it, right? So I have no idea what these guys are doing. No, there's no Panzerschreck there. Why the hell? How the hell did they get veterancy? When the Rangers are the ones who destroy the rebel wing, maybe just from killing those guys. And now he's going to decap the headquarters. I would, at this point, I know I talked about decapping their forward HQ earlier, but the priority should be to fix the Sherman, because he's 180 hit, one Panzerschreck hit away from dying, and you have a Panther coming in. So yeah, this Sherman needs to be fixed immediately. That is a surprisingly good hit from a vanilla Sherman, because you know that they have pretty poor. No, don't turn there. Don't show your ass to them. Don't show your ass to the Panther. Don't do it. You're gonna get killed. No, he's gonna get away. Oh, but there we go with the Pershing. Yeah, the Pershing is the great equalizer in this issue. That Panther needs to, Sherman needs to get the hell away from there. And in this situation, it's a bit of a conundrum Yolomum finds himself in. He knows that this Panther can easily destroy, the Pershing can easily destroy the Panther, right? I mean, it's gonna get some damage, but it's gonna win in the end, right? However, you have all of this anti-tank infantry right here. And the counter to that are these Shermans here. However, two of them are badly damaged. So they can't, so they're pretty much two hits away. Two of these guys, both of them are two hits away from getting destroyed. And then there's this vanilla Sherman, which is the only one really combat capable Sherman you have right now. So what do you do in this engagement? Do you continue with the Pershing? You try to scare away the Panther and risk getting, because if all of this attacks the Pershing is going to die. It's a powerful tank, but it is going to die if you don't counter this. And you can't counter this, because then all your Sherman, two of which are Vet 1, are going to die. And you have nothing to help aside from this one sniper, which is for some reason just chilling in his base. So what do you do? In my opinion, I would back the hell out. I would back the hell out, fix my Shermans, and maybe the plural of Sherman is Shermen, right? I would back the hell out. I would fix my Sherman tanks, and then I would come back with the sniper. Then it's a winning engagement, and I would also tell my partner, who is me, that to drop the artillery somewhere around here, right? Before, to soften them up before you go. That's what I would do. But anyway, we're gonna see. We're gonna see how this engagement is going to turn out. Those Panzerschrecks didn't do a whole lot of work on the Pershing, and the Pershing definitely is doing a whole. And the Pershing definitely is doing a whole lot of work on the Panther, but it's getting repaired by two Pioneer squads at the same time, and it would take like an atrocious amount of time for the Pershing to destroy it on its own, because it's constantly getting repaired. And this Sherman, which is, both of these are very close to Vets 2, by the way, this Sherman is showing his ass, and that's not something you want to do. If you decide to keep them in the engagement in this situation here, you should put this Sherman forward in front of everyone, because it's going to attract the most fire, and then you put these two kind of back, but still close enough to provide fire. That way they're going to be covered by this, but they're still going to be useful. And now you lost the Sherman, and now you know exactly why. And once again, he's retreating things that KM, I mean, that he shouldn't retreat. Like this squad right here could have stayed in I understand why he's retreating this squad, because it's a single man squad. But this squad right here is definitely should have stayed in the battle, because this Sherman is one Shrek away from dying. And there you go. But is the Panther going to die? You now have one Sherman and one Pershing against a Panther, and this. Oh, there you go. That squad is dead. And are these guys going in for the fix? Oh no! That was a smart play. Oh, but the Martyr is here. Oh, this is so interesting to me right now. That Sherman is dead. Yeah, that Sherman is definitely dead. But that Pershing is untouched, and these engineers need to do better. This is not on you, Yolomum. The engineers just are very bad at their job. Uh, that Martyr has incredible anti-armor capabilities. Your Pershing is not more powerful than that. It's going to get destroyed 10 times out of 10 in this situation. You need to back the hell away immediately. And this was dropped by me because I was watching this as it was unfolding. I think they're both going to die. I don't remember, by the way, what happened. But in this situation, I would have used my engineers to either fix or open fire on the Martyr. And but I think they're both going to die, the Panther and the Pershing. You need to hit. You need. Yeah, there you go. Oh no, he's gonna live. Ah, nah, he's gonna die to these guys coming in clutch. Yeah, unfortunately, poor micro right there from Yolomum. But and he was, I think, incredibly lucky for the Pershing not to have died a minute earlier. In most engagements, he would have been long gone by this point. So I think this was incredibly lucky for him. It's probably because of micro terrain and stuff like that, right? Because when you take a look, this is how they were shooting and they were missing constantly. So it was incredibly lucky for him to have his Pershing for as long as he did. But this was, in my opinion, a losing engagement. This was mutually assured destruction, and it was a losing engagement on both sides. And Yolomum could have won this engagement if only he had waited for his Sherman to get fixed. If he had pulled them back, maybe use the Pershing to bait the Grenadiers and the Panther in a little bit, but not go fully in, and then use your engineers, or maybe even tell me to come with my engineers to help fix the Shermans. And when he had three fully healed Sherman, push them in to kill all of these Grenadiers, the Grenadiers that were here, and then use the Pershing to focus on the Panther and drop artillery on it at the same time. I'm pretty sure we together or him alone could have destroyed everything and lost nothing. And this way you lost three Sherman tanks, two of which were Vet 1. You lost one Pershing, which was also just gained veterancy, I believe, because it had just killed a Panther. And in exchange, they lost one Panther, one Martyr, and they lost one Grenadier squad with a Panzerschreck, and three Grenadier squads got down to one man and were forced to retreat. Is that a winning engagement? I don't really think so. It's not a losing engagement, definitely, for Yolomum. It's not like something you lose a game over, but it is not a winning engagement, certainly, because you still lost everything. And it was just one Panther, by the way. There wasn't a Panther battle group of two Panthers. It was a single Panther. So, in my opinion, should have done better there. Definitely, I mean, I understand the issue of dealing with these Grenadiers, that they're very, very annoying troops to deal with. But if only you had waited and fixed all your your Shermen before going in, it would have worked much better. Oh, this is, by the way, my off-map combat battle group. Uh, but that's it. Yeah, unfortunately, losing not a losing engagement, but an unsuccessful engagement, even though it did deal a lot of damage. But something to learn from and to remember for next time. You know, maybe just attack with two fully fixed Shermans. run at him with a Pershing from the front and use the fourth Sherman to go in from the back. That would have done wonders. Just you need to keep your head cool in moments like this. But I understand because this happens to me. I mean, it happens to top level players as well. But this was just a silly engagement when you have two Shermans that are very close to dying. It just made no sense. If you're wondering why I'm now doing the same thing, it's because we're basically winning the game and I don't really care anymore because the point situation and the map situation, as you can tell, is entirely in our favor, and at this point it's pretty much obvious it's GG. It's just a matter of time. And this is a silly engagement because the M10 should never attack infantry because it's just gonna get destroyed, but whatever. I don't really care at this point. It's very obvious we're going to win. It was also very obvious to both of us that these were the only infantry he had left. These troops right here, and I also had a huge flank coming in from the back to cut off their retreat path. So yeah. Also, that engineer got to... Those engineers got to Vet 2. I never had Vet 2 engineers in my life. Yeah. The flamethrower really does wonders, right? But yeah. Anyway. It's pretty much GG. I might as well speed it up just because nothing of value is happening. So he has Knight's Cross holders that he sent to take he's gonna lose them. Oh my god, he's going to lose them. Oh my god, why they're still alive? They are such an overpowered unit, I swear to god. They just got 3 artillery hits to the face, and they've been on 1% health since the first one, and they're still alive. They're gonna die now, right? They have to. Oh my god. Just die over... Nah, this is... They're such a broken unit, I swear to god. If this was literally any other unit in the game, non-armored unit, obviously I'm talking about infantry units. If this was any other infantry unit in the game, it would have been dead. But anyway, Yolomum is coming in with another Pershing, and the sniper is here to take out those Panzerschrecks, which is a smart idea. Finally, we're seeing some cohesion between infantry for support and armored units. He's going for a base run. At this point, we were very well aware that we were winning. He's going for a base kill. KM dropped at this point. He knows that it's completely pointless that they lost. Because if a Persian can get into your base, oh, he's gonna... please don't let it be destroyed. Please get... Nah. And Ronin says my guy was shit. I don't really think he was. I don't know if you can see it, but I accidentally sent this message to the team instead of sending it to all. So Ronin never actually saw what I told him. So if you're watching this on YouTube, if this video somehow found you, you were the worst player out of the two. We also checked, by the way, the stats afterwards. Ronin was definitely the worst of the two, of the pair, so he was definitely wrong when he said my guy was shit. This Pershing needs to destroy this Wehrmacht quarters. There we go. It's over now. I know they're here somewhere. I couldn't see them because of fog of war. And now I know they're here, so now we're just gonna kill them and just cap this. And this is AI now, decapping all of this. But in this situation, remember what I said in the beginning of the video, it's completely reasonable to cap this, right? Because it's 400 to 50, and they really are desperate to cap this for a good reason. And in that situation, you really should be using all your forces to cap it, to cap and decap these points, because otherwise you're going to lose. Ronin is also decapping this point. I have nothing. We have nothing to counter it, just an anti-tank gun. And Yolomum generally has nothing. He has a Sherman and a Pershing, which means that this game was... it had very, very poor how do I put this? His unit upkeep and his survivability, his survival rate was very, very poor. I have no idea why he's waiting for the machine gunner to upgrade in the base. It should already be on its way here while it's upgrading, because it takes like 10 seconds to upgrade, right? Um, but anyway, his unit survival was very, very poor, because he lost three Shermans, one Pershing. I don't even know before that what he lost. So this is now, at the very least, the fifth Sherman coming out and the second Pershing. And in theory, he could have had like 8 or 9 Shermans if he had just tried. If his unit survivability upkeep was even half decent, he could have had at least 4 Shermans on the field without building these two guys right here. So that's something definitely to work on in the future. Because when you see that they get to 50% health, or something like that, and you see that the enemy is nowhere close to dying, just get them the hell out of there. There's no point in risking their life, in risking your armor and, losing it like that.
Sergeant, get an MG on the roof of this tin can. It's time to shred some krauts.
Once again, this scared the shit out of me. But yeah, anyway, this is pretty much GG at this point. We're coming down to, cap this and be over with it. I understand how hard Ronin is trying, and now he dropped right now to survive. And I appreciate the effort to an extent, but it's not gonna work. It's just, we're just gonna speed it up a bit, because there's no point in this being any longer than it is now. There's an off-map combat group for me, which is terrible. I mean, not really necessary, but I still called it a mortar, an infantry unit, and 2 anti-tank guns. He has another Sherman. This could have been the 10th. And this is the base run, and that pretty much means it's over. A bet 3 Pershing. That's not something you see every day. And yeah, there you go. Overall, like, good noob game. What's this guy's name? ROnin81. His stats, he was kind of a noob. We knew his stats before we played. He was definitely more experienced than Yolomum. Remember, this is Yolomum's like first ever game against human players, not playing against AI in a skirmish. But he was definitely more experienced than Yolomum, and I kind of expected more from him. And Yolomum was actually, even though between the two of us, I'm the more experienced player, he was actually playing against this guy, KM, who is the more experienced of these two. And we checked the stats afterwards, and KM was actually playing much better than Ronin. So Ronin, who said my guy was shit, nah, turns out it was you mostly, but Um, but a good example of a noob game and something to work on. Yolomum lost way too many tanks. I think he was overrating the quality of their armor, and he thought that their survivability would be better because they're armored, much more so than it actually was. I think that was a mistake. And it was pretty well epitomized in that one engagement here, which we spent a lot of time talking about, so I'm not going to waste any more words. Aside from that, the second thing I would point out is the lack of infantry support. I had all the infantry. He had pretty much none of it, aside from engineers. Even at this point now, he has a Calliope in the field. He has literally nothing other than armor, so it's all armor. And of course, this is not the late game. This is now the late game, but this was even like this at minutes 10. He had like a sniper and 2 engineers in the field, and you need some form of infantry to help keep your armor safe from infantry anti-tank blobs. He also lost that early machine gun here, which was he was surprised by the sniper which popped up here. If that sniper hadn't come up, his machine gun would have won this engagement. But this is why you need to keep when your troops are in an active engagement, you need to keep your eye on them. And once he if he had done that and he saw that sniper take that shot, he could have just retreated, reinforced, and come back. This way, he just lost. For me, I don't even know. I was taking this game pretty chill because it's not a what's it called? It's not a ranked game. I got two rifle. I got to two rifle three. Vet three rifles. My survivability was actually pretty good for my standards. So I don't even know. I think it was pretty good. I'm not even gonna comment on myself. Uh, Ronin doesn't know how to play with Panzer Elite. I think that's become very obvious throughout this game. Um, Panzer Elite is pound for pound the most, in my opinion, the most powerful infantry, vanilla infantry unit in the game. Before it gains any veterancy, it's the most powerful non-veterancy infantry unit in the game. So three Panzer Elite soldiers can kill three Panzer Grenadiers can kill a five-man rifle squad easy. They can also keep them at a distance. They don't have to get up close and personal. They can be at quite a distance. He lost pretty much all infantry engagements against me because he doesn't know how to fight with Panzer Elite. He only deployed one or two, no, it was two armored cars and one Wirbelwind and a Kettenkrad. And that's quite frankly embarrassing for Panzer Elite because we're talking about Panzer Elite here. I didn't have to destroy a single tank. I didn't have to do anything. So that just means ROnin81 needs to watch some, more experienced players to see how they play Panzer Elite and, just experiment with it. I don't want to badmouth him, but this was overall a pretty bad game from him just because he was losing infantry all over and he just didn't. At some point, he should have realized that, hey, I'm losing infantry very easily. I need to start building armor. And he never did, which is weird because he has Kampfgruppe Company and Panzerjäger Command, and all he built were martyrs, which is weird because I only have one tank on the field. It's an M10, and I got it from an off-map combat group, so there was no need to go anti-tank against me, and he went anti-tank. He also has Panzerschreck, which is pointless. But yeah, anyway, a very bad game from him, I would say. He just didn't do enough to be a threat. There was a bit of a contest for this point here in the mid game, which lasted for about 10 minutes, and the only reason it was a contest at all was because he was what do you say? What do you call it? He was blobbing all of his infantry up, but I dealt with that eventually, so that was once again a non-issue from him. And VM, I feel like VM was spread too thin. He kept trying to send snipers and stuff to help Ronin against me because he saw that he was struggling against me, and since he had to play on two sides, he couldn't focus on completely on what was going on here. I think he actually played okay, given the fact that he was fighting on two fronts. And when Ronin said that he played with a bad player, I was kind of, I'm not going to say I was pissed, but it was weird to me because I was like, no, it was the other way around actually. But anyway, yeah, a fun game to play definitely, and maybe I'll post more of these casual games in the future. But anyway, that's it for today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.